unfortunate time that we're living in now, where increasingly we are seeing our own rights and freedoms, our own democracy being undermined by the very administration that claims to be the standard bearer for democracy around the world.
Hello, I'm Mark Skousen, the producer of FreedomFest, and we are here at FreedomFest in Memphis, Tennessee, and we're delighted to have Tulsi Gabbard with us. We just heard you talk. You just came off talking about foreign policy. Gave a very critical view of the Biden administration. Do you think Benjamin Franklin warned us that we could be headed for a dictatorship of some sort, where a king controls us? To what extent has executive power been excessive in terms of domestic and foreign policy with executive orders and too much power in the executive?
There's no question about how over time the executive has not only amassed more power, but Congress has also ceded much of its authority to the executive, not only as it relates to foreign policy, but also in the extensive rulemaking that we see now happening more in bureaucracies, where they're essentially making new laws that are enforceable with the power of the gun through different law enforcement agencies, completely bypassing Congress. And so we're seeing the effects of this overreach of power and the lack of the check and balance that is supposed to exist.
The student loans are a perfect example
Exactly.
of that. That should have gone through Congress.
100% it should have gone through Congress. There are so many Title IX. They're undermining Title IX right now through the back door, rather than saying, okay, we want to change the definition of Title IX, says the Biden administration, go to Congress, the American people, and make your case.
Yeah. So Ben Franklin also said the system of America is commerce with all and war with none. So to what extent have we lived up to that?
Not well, to put it nicely. It's an unfortunate time that we're living in now, where increasingly we are seeing our own rights and freedoms, our own democracy being undermined by the very administration that claims to be the standard bearer for democracy around the world. I think more and more people, both here at home as well as around the world, are recognizing that hypocrisy, but it's up to us, the American people, to stand up against that, to hold our leaders accountable, and to bring to the forefront the kinds of leaders who really understand and appreciate the vision that our founders had for the United States of America and take action accordingly.
So I'm going to ask you a question that you didn't discuss in your talk, but is something that kind of bothers me about Congress, and you were in Congress for 8 years, the Jones Act. Now, this is a very big deal in Hawaii and Puerto Rico and places like that. Why can't we get rid of this law that is probably one of the worst examples of protectionism in this country? Have you ever, is there any effort to abridge that, to change it, so that people, in case people don't know, this means that every ship built in America has to be by Americans and has to be employed by Americans, and it's destroyed the shipping industry in the United States. I know this is a big issue in Hawaii. Have you addressed this kind of issue, and what should be done about it?
It's a big issue in Hawaii. It's one of those issues that for the years that I was in Congress encouraged dialogue and conversation around it, because there are those who hold different views on it. There's not universal support for or against the Jones Act in Hawaii. And this is exactly the kind of issue that needs to be debated and updated or changed according to the present times that we're facing.
So one final question. It's a political year coming up, 2024. Should we have a new generation, younger people running the country instead of 80-year-olds?
You know, there's the easy answer to that, but I think it's important for us to look past. I don't care if it's gender or age or whatever other superficial things people try to use. We need to focus on the substance of who are these people who are asking us to hire them, and what do they stand for? Are they committed to the Constitution? I don't care how old you are. If you're not committed to the Constitution, you shouldn't be serving in a position of power in this country.
Are there any old people that fit in that category?
We'll
You're
see.
not going to answer that question.
We'll see.
Well, we have some young people who are in that category.
Yes.
You're included. Thank you.
Thank you.
Real pleasure.
It's great to talk to you.
Okay.